Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Aliff Nadzmi bin PADLI. Today, me and my friend will present about Leong MSIG Takaful Malaysia. Before we start, let me introduce our group member. First, we have Muhammad HAZIM bin NASRI. Next, we have Muhammad AMIRUL IMRAN bin Muhammad SHOKRI. And lastly, we have Muhammad HAIKAL bin SUIB. First is Takaful background. Takaful industry in Malaysia emerged to meet the demand for Islamic financial products and services. Takaful is an Islamic form of insurance based on mutual cooperation, shared responsibility and risk sharing. It operates in compliance with Sharia principles, promoting ethical and social responsibility practices. The first Takaful company is Syarikat Takaful Malaysia Berhad was established in 1984. The Malaysian government play a significant role in promoting in industry through regulation and creating a conducive environment for its growth. The industry is supervised by the Central Bank of Malaysia, which is Bank Negara Malaysia. Guideline and regulation ensure compliance with Sharia principle and protect the interest of policyholder. The Takaful industry has experienced significant growth and development. Various operators offer a wide range of Sharia compliant insurance products. Competition and innovation have been fostered by both domestic and international players entering the market. The government has implemented initiatives like tax incentive and regulatory reform to promote the industry growth and competitiveness. Collaboration between conventional insurance and Takaful operators have been encouraged. Increasing awareness and demand for Islamic financial solutions drive the expansion to the Takaful industry in Malaysia. It provides individuals and businesses with Sharia compliant insurance coverage while adhering to ethical and religious principles. Next is history and development Takaful in Malaysia. The legal framework of the Malaysian Takaful industry has evolved over time, with key milestones and developments shaping its growth from 1984 until 2022. Here is a summary of the significant events and progress. On 1984, establishment for the first Takaful company, Syarikat Takaful Malaysia Berhad was founded as the first Takaful operator in Malaysia. 1988, formation of Takaful Act. The Takaful Act was enacted to provide a legal framework for the regulation and supervision of Takaful operators. It defined the role and responsibilities of operators, established guidelines for Sharia compliance and outlined the listening requirement. On 1994, establishment of the Takaful Operator Scheme. The Takaful Operator Scheme was introduced to provide a framework for the establishment and registration of Takaful operators. For 1997, introduction of the Takaful Guideline. The Central Bank of Malaysia, which is BNM, issued the Takaful Guideline to provide comprehensive guidance on the operational, governance and Sharia aspect of Takaful operation. On 2001, establishment of the Sharia Advisory Council. The Sharia Advisory Council was formed to ensure the compliance of Takaful operation with Sharia principle. It provides Sharia rulings, opinions and guidance to Takaful operator. On 2002, introduction of the Islamic Financial Services Act, IFSA. The IFSA was enacted to consolidate and streamline the regulatory framework for Islamic financial institutions, including Takaful operator. It strengthened the regulatory oversight and enhanced consumer protection measures. On 2006, introduction of the Takaful operational framework. The Takaful operational framework was launched to enhance the efficiency and transparency of Takaful operation. It provides guidelines on product development, underwriting, claim management and risk management. On 2009, formation of the Malaysian Takaful Association, which is we know as MTA. The MTA was established to promote the development and growth of the Takaful industry in Malaysia. It serves as a platform for collaboration among Takaful operators and act as a representative body for the industry. On 2013, introduction of the risk-based capital framework for Takaful operator. BNM implemented the risk-based capital framework to ensure that Takaful operator maintain adequate capital to support their business risk. On 2018, amendments to the IFSA. The IFSA was amended to enhance the regulatory framework for Islamic financial institutions, including Takaful operator. The amendment aimed to strengthen governance, risk management, and consumer protection measure. On 2020, introduction of the Islamic Financial Services Act IFSA 2013 Amendment Act. This amendment further enhanced the regulatory framework for Takaful and other Islamic financial institutions. It introduced provision for recovery and resolution or distressed institution and strengthened Sharia governance. And lastly, on 2022, continue growth and development. The Takaful industry in Malaysia has continued grow, attracting both domestic and international players. There has been a focus on innovation, product diversification, and expanding the reach of Takaful services to cater to evolving customer needs. Next, we move to the regulatory and development of Takaful industry regulation in Malaysia. The regulatory and development of Takaful industry regulation in Malaysia have been overseen by the Central Bank of Malaysia or Bank Negara Malaysia to ensure compliance with Sharia principle and protect the interests of policy holder. Here are the key aspects of the regulatory framework and industry development. First, we have Takaful Act and Guideline. The Takaful Act was enacted in 1988 to establish the legal framework for Takaful operation in Malaysia. BNM issued Takaful Guidelines to provide comprehensive guidance on the operational governance and Sharia aspect of Takaful operation. Next, we have Sharia Advisory Council. The SSC was established to ensure the compliance of Takaful operation with Sharia principle. It provides Sharia rulings, opinion and guidance to Takaful operator. Third, we have licensing and supervision. Takaful operator are required to obtain a license from BNM to conduct Takaful business in Malaysia. BNM conduct ongoing supervision and monitoring to ensure compliance with regulatory requirement and prudential standards. Fourth, we have risk-based capital framework. BNM introduced the risk-based capital framework to ensure that Takaful operator maintain adequate capital to support their business risk. The framework assesses the capital requirement based on the risk profile of each Takaful operator. For the fifth, we have consumer protection measure. BNM has implemented various measures to protect the interests of Takaful policy holders. This include disclosure requirement, fair treatment of customer, claim handling guidelines, and dispute resolution mechanism. Next, we have product development and innovation. BNM encourage Takaful operator to develop innovative and competitive products to meet customer needs. Product development guidelines ensure that the products are Sharia compliant, transparent, and provide value to customer. And lastly, we have international standard and best practices. BNM align the regulatory framework with international standard and best practices. This includes compliance with International Association of Insurance Supervisors (IAIS) principle and standard.
Now I will talk about Leong MSIG Takaful company background. Leong MSIG Takaful Malaysia is a composite Takaful operator that was established in 2006. But in 2011, Leong MSIG Takaful joint venture between Leong Financial Group Malaysia and Msig Insurance Company. Their stake is Leong 65% stake and Msig Insurance Company hold 35% stake. Next, Leong MSIG Takaful offer a wide range of Takaful products including family Takaful, general Takaful and investment linked Takaful. It is family Takaful product cover life, health and education. It is a general Takaful product cover motor, fire, travel and personal accident. It is investment linked Takaful product combine the feature of Takaful and insurance. Next, the company also has been awarded numerous of awards including the Domestic Life Insurer of the Year by Asian Banking and Finance Insurance Asia Award for 6 consecutive years from 2016 to 2021. Okay, now I will talk about the company history. In 2006, the company Leong MSIG Takaful has been established. In 2007, Leong MSIG Takaful launched its first Takaful product. In 2008, Leong MSIG Takaful received approval from Bank Negara Malaysia to operate as a composite Takaful operator. In 2010, Leong MSIG Takaful launched its first investment linked Takaful product. In 2013, they opened its first international brand in Singapore. In 2015, Leong MSIG Takaful Award is awarded Domestic Life Insurer of the Year by Asian Banking and Finance Insurance Asia Award. And lastly, in 2021, Leong MSIG Takaful is awarded Domestic Life Insurer of the Year by Asian Banking and Finance Insurance Asia Award for the 6th consecutive year. That's all for company background and history. Now I will talk about people and business model. For people, there is Datuk Muhammad bin Abdullah. He as a chairman and independent non-executive director. Datuk Muhammad bin Abdullah joined the board of MSIG Insurance as an independent non-executive director on 12 March 2018. Next we have Mr. Lim Tiang Chu. Mr. Lim Tiang Chu as independent non-executive director. Mr. Lim Tiang Chu joined MSIG Insurance Malaysia as independent non-executive director on 15 December 2018. Next we have Ms. Gan Bilan. She is independent non-executive director for board of MSIG Insurance and joined on 15 August 2020 as independent non-executive director. Next, I will move to business model. The business model of Leong MSIG Takaful Malaysia is based on the following. Is based on the principle. First, mutuality. Mutuality is Takaful is a mutual insurance system, which means that the participants are the owner of the Takaful fund. Second is solidarity. Takaful participants are united by a common bond of risk and they share the financial burden of any losses that occur. Lastly is profit sharing base. Any profit generated by the Takaful fund are shared among the participants. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next, we move to Leong MSIG Takaful products. First, we have Leong MSIG Takaful Critical Care. This is treatment and recovery for critical illness can take months, if not years. With Leong Takaful Critical Care, we can now focus on our road to recovery and not worry about ongoing living expenses and bill. Next, we have Hong Leong MSIG Takaful Eye Hospital Care. Hong Leong Takaful Eye Hospital Care provide daily cash benefit during hospitalization, which help subsidize your loss of income or medical bill. Next, we move to comparison between two products. First, we choose for coverage. For HLN Takaful Eye Critical Care, this plan provides coverage for critical illness. It offers financial protection in the event that you are diagnosed with a critical illness specific in the policy, such as cancer, heart attack, stroke, or organ failure. The coverage typically includes a lump sum payout upon diagnosis of a covered critical illness. For Takaful Eye Hospital Care, this plan focuses on providing coverage for hospitalization expenses. It offers financial protection for medical expenses incurred during hospital stays due to illness or accident. The coverage includes costs related to hospital room charge, surgical procedure, specialist consultant, diagnostic test, and medication. For purpose, Takaful Eye Critical purpose is to provide financial support when we are diagnosed with a critical illness. The lump sum payout can be used to cover medical treatment, rehabilitation, income replacement during recovery, or any other expenses we may have. For Takaful Eye Hospital Care, the primary purpose of this plan is to assist with the costs associated with hospitalization. It helps to alleviate the financial burden of medical expenses incurred during hospital stay, ensuring that we receive necessary treatment without worrying about the cost. For benefit, Takaful Eye Critical Care, the benefit structure of this plan usually involve a lump sum payout upon diagnosis of a covered critical illness. The payout amount is determined by the coverage amount that we choose when purchasing the policy. For Takaful Eye Hospital Care, the benefit structure of this plan typically cover the actual expenses incurred during hospitalization up to a specific limit. The coverage amount is based on the plan that we select and the policy term. And lastly, for coverage duration. For Takaful Eye Critical Care, the coverage duration for critical illness plan is usually long term, often extending for several years or until a specific age, depending on the policy term. For Takaful Eye Hospital Care, the coverage duration for hospitalization plans is generally shorter term and renewable on an annual basis.
Okay, next I will talk about Hong Leong MSIG Takaful Malaysia Takaful Syariah concept. The first one, Hong Leong MSIG Takaful Malaysia applies the following Syariah concept principle in its Takaful product, which is the first one is Iltizam Al-Tabarruk, which is provision for donating for pure tabarruk. This concept ensures that a portion of the Takaful contribution is set aside for a charitable purposes before any benefits are paid out to the participant. The second one is Wakalah Agency. The Takaful operator acts as an agent on behalf of the participant and earns a fee for service rendered. The third one is Jualah, which is performance fee. The fee is paid to the Takaful operator if it achieves certain performance targets. The next one is Qard Hasan, which is benevolent loan. This loan is provided to participants who have difficulty paying their Takaful premiums. The next one is repayment of Qard Hasan. This is the repayment of the benevolent loan to the Takaful operator. In addition to this Syariah concept, Next, I will talk about the governance of Hong Leong MSIG Takaful Malaysia. The first one is board oversight. The board of directors is responsible for the overall governance of the company, and it sets the strategic direction and ensures that the company complies with all applicable laws and regulation. The next one is risk management. Risk management is the company has a comprehensive risk management framework in place, and it regularly monitors and assesses its risk. The third one is internal controls. The company has a strong system of internal control in place, and it regularly reviews and tests these controls to ensure that they are effective. The fourth one is audit and compliance. The company has an independent audit committee that is responsible for overseeing the company financial reporting and compliance with laws and regulations. The last one is transparency. The company is committed to transparency, and it publishes regular report on its financial performance and corporate governance practices.
Financial performance for the Hong Leong MSIG Takaful. So, firstly, for the financial result of 2020, the company annual net profit for the period of 30 June 2020 amounted to 12,921,000. The positive growth in net profit indicates a healthy financial performance and effective management of the company operation. There are some factors increasing the net profit, such as cost management. Effective cost management plays a crucial role in improving net profit. Companies can reduce costs through measures such as streamlining operations, optimizing supply chain management. For the financial result of 2021, the company's net profit for the year of 30 June 2021 was 7,400,000. This is the decrease of approximately 22.95%, which profit from 12,991,000 to 7,449,000. This decrease in net profit is the result of bad improvement and inefficient business operating management. There are numbers of factors that contribute to the decrease of including inefficient operation. Inefficient using component operation can lead to decrease in profit. This can include factors such as production efficiency. So lastly, for the financial result of 2022, during the period of 30 June 2022, Hong Leong MSIG Takaful incurred a loss in net profit of negative 3,926,000. There has been a loss of approximately 151% in net profit from 7,429,000 to negative 3,926,000. The negative sign indicates loss result profit. The decline in net profit reflects challenges faced by the company and highlights the need of strategic improvement. There are a number of factors that contribute to the decrease in net profit, such as cost increase, rising costs such as raw material price, labor expenses, or overhead costs, without corresponding revenue growth can erode profitability and lead to a loss of net profit. So that's the differences between the Takaful Act 1984 and the INSA 2015. So the first component for the differences is the risk factors. The Takaful Act 1984 specifically addressed the regulation of Takaful operation and their activities. It places emphasis on ensuring compliance with Sharia principles in the design, operation and delivery of Takaful products. The Act provides guidelines for Takaful contract, structure the establishment of Takaful contract, In contrast, the IFSA is a broader legislation where it encompasses various financial services, including conventional and economic units, which emphasizes and regulates Takaful operation, which focus solely on the Takaful. Then for the Syariah compliance, the next component, the Takaful Act 1984 place a strong emphasis on Syariah compliance and ensure that the Takaful operation adhere to Islamic principle. It requires Takaful operator to establish a Syariah committee or board to oversee and approve the Takaful product, investment activities and other operations. Next, for the INS3533 also acknowledge the importance of Syariah compliance in Takaful, but it provides more general guidelines and principles rather than specific requirement tailored to the Takaful operation. Next, for the last component is operational requirement. The Takaful Act 1984 sets out specific operational requirements for the operator, such as the minimum set-up capital, the formation of Takaful fund, and the appointment of the Takaful operator management. These requirements are tailored to the unique characteristics of Takaful operation. For INS 2030, establish a broader regulatory framework for all financial institutions, including Takaful operator, but it may not have provision specifically designed for Takaful